I've had a chance now to beta test AT&T's new streaming box, and with them soft launching their streaming service, according to reports next month possibly, I figure now's a good time to see if the box is going to help them achieve any sort of dominance. Let's dive in. Hey everybody, welcome back. If you like what we do here at Reviews.org, hit that subscribe button. We much appreciate having you here. Now, let's get on to the business of talking about AT&T's streaming box. Like I said up top, there are reports that the AT&T streaming service could soft launch as soon as this August. That's next month. So now's a good time to be talking about whether the box is any good. We don't know about the price on the box yet. Of course, the corporate PR speak is we're going to make it as affordable as possible, but we don't know what that means. You know, is it going to cost $50, $100? Are they going to be doing, a monthly rental, kind of like you used to do with your cable box? Maybe we'll talk more about that in just a second. The box runs on a modified, customized version of Android TV, and it's got Chromecast built in. Now, this doesn't mean that it runs absolutely everything that an Android TV does. For instance, when I tried to download the MLB TV app, it says this app is not yet supported on this device. And so just because it runs on Android TV doesn't mean that it runs everything that every other Android TV box does. So just be aware of that going in. Next, let's look at the remote itself. The remote actually really recalls less a streaming box remote, like something you would find on Roku or Apple TV or something minimal like that. And more like your old cable or satellite remotes. This is meant to replace DirecTV. It's not necessarily meant to replace those other boxes. It's in direct competition with your old style cable box, satellite TV box. And the remote really reflects that. So it's got a ton of buttons. It's got your actual channel number buttons, which I haven't seen on a streaming remote in quite a while. It's flattened out the arrow keys and the OK key here. It's flattened out this section, and it's brought back the toggle keys for the volume and channel as well. This is something that old school DirecTV users will be used to. Other than that, I mean, it's got your standard home button, play pause button, and a record button as well for your DVR. It's also got a Google Assistant button, which is one of the things that I like. It makes it really prominent right there in the middle of the remote. So it makes it easy to search and find stuff quickly using just the remote. Just the press of a button lets you voice search for programs or channels, what have you. Honestly, whether you like the remote is going to depend on whether you really like the old school kind of cable satellite remotes. This is more complicated, like I said, than streaming remotes, most streaming remotes. And so if you like having all the button options, then you're going to love it. If you don't, then this is going to be big and clunky and you're going to hate it. The toggle buttons especially, the jury's out for me on whether I like them, but they are certainly more tactile than the other options that you have out there. Maybe you like it. I will say that the keyboard functionality is awful. And what I'm talking about is you're inputting your email address or password using the arrow keys and the OK button. I did not like it at all. The buttons require really deep presses. And the keyboard layout on screen is not the QWERTY keyboard layout that I'm used to. And so it took me a long time to enter email addresses and passwords. On the plus side, because this is an Android platform, it asks you to log in using your Google account. And so if you are a heavy Chrome user like I am, I've logged into everything in Chrome. So my Netflix, HBO, and all that stuff. So once I logged in using my Google account, it automatically logged me into Netflix, say. And so I didn't have to enter my email address and password for Netflix. Once I opened up the app, I was already logged in because I had done that on Chrome earlier. So little touches like that are nice. It's really just lucky that it didn't make me use the keyboard more often than I already had to. As for the interface, they seem to be really trying to recreate the traditional TV experience. Whether this is good or bad is up to you. If you want to hang on to that experience, they really help you do that by making your home screen, your effective home screen, your live TV. So when you turn on the box, when you turn on your TV, it goes straight to live TV, whatever the last channel was that you were watching, just like your old cable or satellite programming. Now, whether that's good or bad is going to be up to you. Me personally, I'm used to streaming devices and systems now that when I hit that home page button, it takes me to a silent screen where I can choose what I want to watch next, so my TV isn't constantly yelling at me. But once you're in there, clicking around, you can find the stuff that you were recently watching, your DVR recordings, all that kind of stuff. So the layout isn't too bad, especially after you get over that home screen thing. Maybe you won't have to. Maybe that's a style that you prefer. The real problem comes in navigating these menus. And now we're getting to my absolute biggest complaint about this. A lot of the other stuff, how deep you have to press the buttons, that's a totally subjective thing. That's just me, my preferences. But what cannot be disputed is that this box was slow. It was so slow, unacceptably slow. Every single button press had a lag time of at least a quarter second, sometimes much, much longer. Now, I tested it because I wasn't sure, is it just my internet connection? Am I, screwing something up there? And so it's just really slow. So I tested it a few different ways, even plugged it in using the Ethernet connection in the back. And no, it just turns out that the lag time on this box is remarkable. It's, in my opinion, unacceptably slow. And if they want this box to help them sell their new streaming service, they are going to have to fix that. So if you're watching this video in the future and they've launched this box, make sure you check in on that, whether it's with us or elsewhere. Check and see on the speed of the box, because I can tell you right now that if they haven't fixed that, it will drive you crazy. So ultimately, I was a little bit surprised when they sent us the box to beta test. I thought, oh, okay, it's another streaming box. So it's something that's going to compete with the Apple TV, something that's going to compete with Roku or Fire TV. It's not that. If you recall, a few years ago, Sling TV put out their own streaming box, the Air TV player. And this is very similar to that, where it's geared toward a very specific service, in this case, AT&T. Are you going to get this box if you're not a customer of AT&T's new streaming service? I don't think so. I certainly wouldn't recommend it over any of the other streaming boxes. At least not with the performance that it had now. In the future, depending on how AT&T's new streaming service is, if it absolutely kicks ass, then maybe this box is worth it. But for now, I think they've got a lot of work to do still. If you have any questions about this box, hit the comments below and let me know. I can give it a few more test runs based on questions that you've got. This was just a really surface level thing. So I'd appreciate you guys' comments. Give this video a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.